And well. Welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Walk2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. So here we go. One of the most intense, bitter rivalries in the NFL. The New York Jets, the Miami Dolphins, Monday Night Football at Hard Rock Stadium, one of two Monday Night Football games on the NFL schedule that night. This game is going to be on ESPN. It gets the undercard billing compared to Broncos-Bengals, which will be on broadcast TV on ABC. And you can see why. We have two teams coming in at 0-3. And pretty much here's all you need to hear. All I need to say about it. Of the 117 NFL teams since 2000 to lose its first three games, only one team, that'd be the 2018 Houston Texans, actually made the playoffs. Playoffs? Yeah, the playoffs. So, but let's go ahead and break this matchup down because, hey, the winner will have a little bit of optimism, and my gosh, the loser of this game will be wallowing in the pits of despair. So let's start when the New York Jets are on offense, have the football going against this Miami Dolphins defense. Well, Miami, not a very good defense so far, giving up over 370 yards per game, 26 in the league. They're allowing 32.3 points per game. That is dead last. And not only that, they have allowed 150 rushing yards in two of their three games this season. And one of the major culprits is actually their first-round pick, Kenneth Grant, out of Michigan. He was Miami's lowest-graded defensive player against the Bills, according to PFF, had a score of 32.7. That is very stinky, by the way. One solo tackle, nothing else. In fact, through three games, he has three solo tackles, but no pressures, no quarterback hits, no sacks, no forced fumbles, nothing meaningful at all. And if he doesn't work out, that is going to spell major, major problems for a general manager who's already on the hot seat. You also have Zach Sealer up the middle, had a big penalty against Buffalo, but still a very, very good player. Jets interior offensive line, I don't know if they've quite played as well as we would want them to, but one thing I can't let them do is allow Sealer to stop the runs up the middle. So if the interior offensive line can, impose their will the way they did against Pittsburgh, that spells good news for Gang Green. But you have some pass rushers that you got to worry about. You have Bradley Chubb with a team-high 3 sacks, 3 tackles for a loss. Eden Chop Robinson, the youngster, also Matthew Judon and Jalen Phillips, all very capable pass rushers. And the thing with this Dolphins defense, which is coordinated by Anthony Weaver, they love to blitz. They blitz over half the time. Nobody blitzes on a higher percentage than the Dolphins do. Now, it hasn't exactly been successful. They're not exactly getting a lot of sacks or pressures on the quarterback, but it is what they do. And it worries me because the Jets showed no ability to pick up a blitz when they played Tampa Bay. Tyrod Taylor was hit, he was harassed, and it was very frustrating that it pretty much worked until Tampa Bay decided, we can sit back a little bit. We don't have to do this. Let's just back it off a little bit. So that is a concern of mine going into this game. Also at linebacker, Tyrell Dodson. I want to mention him real quick. He has 22 tackles. That's the second most in the NFL, but he is not good in coverage. He is tied for the 5th most yards allowed by a linebacker, 143 yards through 3 games. Not so good, almost 50 yards a game. So this, I believe, is a very good opportunity for the Jets to start using Mason Taylor more regularly. Now, he has no drops. He's made every contested catch. I just don't think he's getting enough chances. He has 9 targets through 3 games. I know the rookie, you don't necessarily want to give them too much too soon. But in a game against the team that his father is well known for, right? Jason Taylor is considered one of the best Dolphins of this era. Let's go. Let's open it up. Right now, the basically Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall get far and away the most targets in this passing game. Mason Taylor, I believe, should be right up there on the level of Breece Hall. And the Miami secondary, it's been all over the place. Storm Duck, Jason Marshall, Cam Smith, Ifeatu Melifonwu, Artie Burns, all injured or have been out all season. You do have Rasul Douglas, the ex-Packer and ex-Bill. He will be there. Here's the thing. If the Miami pass rush, if that blitz doesn't work, the Jets will have every opportunity to torch that secondary. It was frustrating to me that Tyrod Taylor did not take a lot of shots down the field. It feels like the Jets are not taking shots down the field pretty much at all this year. But this is the 5th worst run defense in terms of yards per game. And amazingly, the Ravens and Bills are actually worse. There's a number of ways that you can try to exploit this Miami defense. And I think depending on who plays quarterback, whether it's Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor, as of Friday, we don't quite have that news as of yet. I expect we will probably by late Saturday. They have to decide which way they're going to go. But I would say this: run, don't let up on that. Then maybe go to some play action and exploit the secondary. Maybe a screen pass or two. That's a good way to counter the blitz. I swear, is it me or do screen passes always kill the Jets, and yet they never seem to use them in the years that we've watched them? It's just very strange to me. But I like to see maybe a few screen passes to help counter that blitz. Let's see what happens. All right, let's do what we always do. Let's flip the script when the New York Jets are on defense going against this Miami offense. Maybe an offense that is not as potent as it used to be, a lot of people might say, but let's look at it from a couple different directions. Miami is averaging 281.7 yards per game. That's 23rd. 18.7 points per game. That's 24th. Not very good. But the Dolphins are doing a couple of things well. First of all, they are doing very well on third down. They converted 8 of their first 10 third down opportunities against Buffalo. They finished the night 10 for 15, and coming into that game, Buffalo had the best third down defense in the NFL. So that's something to watch. And we have to talk about Tua for a minute here. So it feels like we kind of know what we're getting with Tua. He gets rid of the ball fast. He's an accurate passer. He is injury prone. And sometimes he's just prone to making some insane mistakes. So his numbers this year, he's completed 70% of his passes, 575 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, been sacked 8 times. Seems to have regressed a little bit from previous years. And I've said this on my live show. I've said this on my bold predictions video. I'm going to say it here again because I think it's really important. 2.7 seconds. When Tua gets the ball out of his hand in 2.7 seconds after the snap, he's completing 75% of his passes, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. When he gets his first read taken away, he starts overthinking it, and all of a sudden, he becomes a very mistake-prone quarterback. When it takes more than 2.7 seconds from the time the ball is snapped to the time he releases the ball, he is completing 56% of his passes, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. So a Jets secondary that has not played great this season, this is an opportunity where if they play well, they could turn this whole game around. Maybe the Dolphins' most potent weapon at this point is not Tyreek Hill. It might be Devon Achane. He has the most receptions of any Dolphin with 18. Tyreek Hill has 15. Jalen Waddle has 14. Achane has great speed. And with the injuries the Jets have at linebacker with Quincy Williams and Marcelino McCurry-Ball both being out, I am worried where this could go. Is Kiko Malagoa ready to go? The rookie out of Miami. Are the Jets going to have to plug in Cam Jones and Mark Robinson, players they brought in really to play special teams? They didn't bring them in to play linebacker, and they're definitely not known for their coverage abilities on defense. It may be a situation where it comes down to 2 linebackers. The Jets may need to be playing a 4-2-5 most of the time. Still don't know why they haven't signed back Jamin Davis, but that's neither here nor there. But it's not just Achane. Also, Ollie Gordon, the 6th-round rookie, played very well against Buffalo. He can run in between the tackles. The Jets' run defense has to contain those 2. And then we go to Hill and Waddle. Well, Hill can still play very well when he's not having another illegitimate child or getting in trouble with the law. Malik Washington, he's emerging as the slot wide receiver, and he also has 6 rushes for 52 yards, also does the punt returning. We should note Darren Waller, expected to make his season debut at tight end. Of course, keep in mind, he had been retired for a little while before the Fins called and dragged him off the couch. And that offensive line, we got to spend some time on this. This offensive line of the Dolphins is beat to shreds, not playing well at all. Austin Jackson, James Daniels, Andrew Meyer, 2 backup tackles. All of these guys are on IR. Right now, you're looking at Patrick Paul at left tackle, young player who hasn't really proven himself yet. Jonas Sabayanai, 2nd-round rookie at left guard. You have an undersized Aaron Brewer at center. You have backups at right guard and right tackle. But like I said, the Jets are down 2 of their top 3 linebackers and their best 2-way defensive end in Jermaine Johnson. So the fact that the worry is we haven't seen the Jets generate a consistent pass rush through 3 games. And without JJ, it's that much harder. So I'm worried if Tua has time to throw, the Jets, back 7 will not have the speed to keep up with these skill position players that the Dolphins are bringing to the table. The Jets tackling has been terrible. If you've been watching these games, whether it's bad angles, whether it's bad execution, it has not been on the level that we need. So I'm worried Miami's going to take 1 or 2 of those missed tackles and turn it into an explosive play and even a touchdown. So I'm kind of debating what I would do with Sauce Gardner because, I'm sure teams are going to be trying to pick on Brandon Stevens when possible. I think I would actually put Sauce on Jalen Waddle to start off because he does have some deep speed. With Tyreek Hill, I think I actually might double him. Try to give Stevens, Thomas, whoever it is that they play, give him, maybe try to bracket him with a safety. Hill has had some injuries. He's had wrist injuries. He's had some back and hip issues in the last few months. So as strange as it is, maybe Waddle is a little bit more dangerous in this particular game. It's hard. It seems surprising, but it is possible. All right, a couple of other game notes. Both of these teams have 19 accepted penalties, but here's the difference, the yards. The Dolphins this year have 137 penalty yards. That's 7.2 yards per penalty. Jets, 190 penalty yards. That's 10 yards per penalty. So the Jets penalties have been that much more damaging. Of course, as we've already mentioned, neither team has a takeaway on defense this year. We'll see if those streaks get broken. And in the kicking game, the Dolphins have Riley Patterson, one of the Jets' many kickers from last season. He's 2 for 2 on field goals. Jason Sanders, the incumbent, is on IR. The Finns, we got to mention this too. Finns have allowed 2 return touchdowns already this season, one on the kickoffs and one on the punts. And Kene Nwangwu, that's one of my guys. He's practicing again. He's been limited, but he is practicing. Maybe he's back. And if he is, maybe he can do something in this game. Who knows? All right, so that is your Jets-Dolphins preview. Those are my thoughts. If you've got some thoughts, put them right down there in the comments. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the games this weekend. Have a great day, and I'll see you all right back here with more content from you-know-where, the Wicker Chair.